the number one question I get is, I want the biggest, baddest, strongest massage gun out there. Which one is it? Well, I had some good assumptions, but these numbers, don't believe every number you see for stall force. I'm not sure how these companies are measuring them, but they're not all measuring them the same way, I can tell you that. So here's what I did. I took the massage gun. I put in the flattest head I could find. Most of them kind of have a flat head. The Theragun had a wedge and a few others, but what I did then is I used my bathroom scale. Okay, this is a Wise Smart scale. And what that allowed me to have is that digital readout down to 1/10 of a pound. I then cut over to my top camera above and I turned it on, turned this massage gun on high, and then I pushed down on the massage gun until the stall force kicked in. Okay, the massage gun stopped and I would slowly ease into it. Otherwise, if I'd push all my weight in, it would instantly stall and it would read like 130 because I'm 150 pounds, right? And I'm leaning on it. So I slowly leaned on it. I did 3 times for each massage gun. Then I threw out the highest or the lowest, depending on, you know, some of them were like way off. Clearly I leaned too much or whatever. Threw out either the higher or the low, depending on the scale, then averaged the final 2 I had left over. I rounded it to the highest or the closest number and put it all on a graph. So make sure you stick around for the graph, and let me just kind of walk through some of the massage guns I was using here. And if you don't know me, I'm Scott with Before You Buy, where we do product reviews of tech and fitness and home appliances. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing. Some of the massage guns I threw in here were my personal favorites that I carry every day, the Bob and Brad, the Q2 and C2, and in fact, the C2, even though it's supposed to be stronger, it came in lower by 2 pounds. I was really surprised by that. And the Sportneer, this is the one that I actually recommend to everyone if you don't want a tiny one, because I err on the side of portability for myself. I carry it in my backpack every day. That's why I go with the Bob and Brad Q2. But the Sportneer I absolutely love as well, and it showed up with 38 pounds of stall force. Now the Recover Fun Plus, this one is supposed to, you know, be even stronger than the previous one. I didn't put those head to head, but I should have, because I don't know if that was actually the case and that was actually true. Plus that one always takes a while to ramp up, so you'd see a few cuts in there. The No Cry won my last, you know, comparison. 17 massage guns I compared. I personally chose this one due to ergonomics and strength, and you know, it's right in there. 30 pounds of stall force. That's strong enough for most people, I'll say that. And then the Theragun Prime. This one was a shocker. Everyone says the Theraguns are so strong and all that. This one came in at 28 pounds of stall force. Now, yes, the Amplitude, how far that head travels, is a whole different thing, and we'll get to that at the end. But the Theragun Elite did show up to the game, 39 pounds here. And that's good because this massage gun is $400. It should show up to the game a little bit. But again, it barely beat the Sportneer by 1 pound, and this one's a fourth the price almost. So keep that in mind. And I do have links down below to a lot of these massage guns, the ones I recommend especially. The Ekrin B37S. Now, I mentioned in my review that this is one of the strongest massage guns I've ever used, and I'm glad the data backed it up. I try to be as honest as I possibly can in my review videos, because that's personally what I want. So I wanted to make sure I give this back to you as well. Now the RoofTree, fantastic build. I knew this one would be strong as well. It's almost an all metal build, one that will just last forever and ever. The heads it comes with are metal, most of them at least. So you know, that showed up strong as well. And then LifePro PulseFX. I did this review a long time ago, but I knew it was a strong one. And this one also has that 16 millimeters of travel, just like the Theraguns. And yep, came in at the winner, the 44 pounds. And wait till that graph, you'll see how close they were though. The Softer Spot S2, this is actually one I recommend for a lot of people across the world when you can't buy some of the massage guns I actually recommend, because you know, they're on Amazon US only. The Softer Spot S2 is a fantastic massage gun. I absolutely love it. 20 speeds though, that's kind of a little silly, but hey, at least it goes fast. And then obviously I had to include that Hypervolt, probably, you know, one of the Kleenex of massage guns, if you will. Now looking at that graph, check this out. They're so similar, it's crazy, right? So one thing to keep in mind is I purposely chose the ones I use and the ones I knew were strong. So what does that mean? I did not include the ones that I don't recommend because they're too weak. For instance, the other day there was a massage gun on sale, the Teotronics. Well, I happen to have that massage gun, so I tested it tonight and it came in at 16. Okay, so keep that in mind. And I also tested the Kika, one of the weakest massage guns I've ever used. That one came in at 10. It was hardly registering on this bathroom scale. So keep that in mind that, you know, even though if they're showing up low on this chart, that does not mean they're weak. That means that they're not one of the absolute strongest, just strong enough to at least make the cut. Okay, so I would say if it doesn't hit close to 30, it's probably not going to be worth it. That's why I included these ones so you could see. But if you want the absolute strongest, now I can answer your question, right? It's the LifePro PulseFX. That's the strongest one I personally have in my inventory. Now, there's probably 20 of them I have in my inventory that wouldn't have even made this cut because they're under 20, okay? So just keep that in mind. There's plenty of crappy massage guns out there, and I've always just tried to provide you with the information. So I don't want you guys to buy a massage gun that you're gonna regret the purchase because it's too weak. If you want a smaller one that you can carry around, that's why I personally use the Bob and Brad Q2, that first one in yellow, the 29, at 29 pounds. And the other recommendation I have is the Sportneer Elite D9 at 38 pounds. Because look, that's way above that you know, 31, 32 average. It is way up there. It's strong enough and it's super quiet. I'll leave that link down below with the review as well. Now, I mentioned at the beginning, there's a difference between stall force and amplitude. Amplitude is how far the head travels as well. I feel like that's a kind of a misunderstood thing in use, okay? So again, I've used over 50 massage guns, and in use, I don't necessarily always appreciate that long amplitude. Why? Because it's like someone punching you. Okay, it's not how hard they punch you, it's like the slap of the punch, right? So the LifePro PulseFX and the Theraguns have the 16 millimeters of travel. Now, I've said this in a lot of my videos, but my wife personally didn't even like that because it kind of punches you too hard every time you're getting hit, and it slaps you, right? Where, you know, one of the other massage guns, like the Sportneer, for instance, I think that one's rated around 10 or 12. I can't remember off the top of my head here, but that one, that stall force is the stall force is strong, the amplitude is smaller, so it doesn't quite slap you as hard, but you can still dig in deep. Does that make sense? Now, some people want just the hardest hitting, whatever, it doesn't matter. And, you know, here's the downside to those. Let me just show you the PulseFX here. Okay, that's pretty loud, especially when you compare it to the, okay, that's the Sportneer on high. See that difference? So keep that in mind. Usually with great amplitude and power comes noise. Also, if you think I missed a massage gun, you say, hey, this one's one of the strongest, please leave that in the comments. I'll try to reach out to them. Maybe I can get their massage gun and get that tested. We'll have a future comparison as well. I'd love that. If this video did help you, please consider buying me a cup of coffee. I really appreciate that. It's late o'clock and these videos take a lot of time. So, but either way, I hope this helped you buy the right massage gun for you. Till next time, thanks for watching. See ya.